Good evening, we'll go ahead and start this meeting. First item on the agenda, consider approving the meeting held on the first.
I'm going to approve those minutes.
Can I have a second? Second, all in favor? Next item, discuss, select two people to sit on the RSU cost sharing committee.
May I speak on that, Mr. Chairman?
Yep.
I actually met with John Borman on Friday, and we discussed this and trying to figure out a way to go through this process. And he made a suggestion where we have more than two people who are interested in sitting on this committee, to ask them to leave the room and to invite one at a time and allow them to speak to the council and explain what they're going to bring to the table without any questions from the council. And when that person's completed, have them sit down and we'll bring the second person in and so on until we end up completing the process.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Any questions on?
Any comments from the council? Following Mr. Bowman's idea? So once again, that if you wish to be considered for this, then we'll ask all people who wish to be considered for this, just a very fair way. We as a council will ask no questions. And we'll sit here and say why you should be here. You leaving?
Well, then what? How's it, explain to me how the process is going to work with you? Are you going to interview each one separately and that's the end of it?
We're going to, Don, could you explain the process? This is your idea.
But that was 3 days ago when I had to. The thought was that, and I'm not sure if I missed something in the beginning, there are 3 or 4 people who may want to be on the committee. My suggestion was that we let each of those people explain to us briefly why they would like to and what they think they have to bring to it. After they have done that, the council would discuss it, make a decision within several days. It wasn't supposed to be a complicated thing, and I think the only reason for having you do it individually is so that you can explain why you want to be on it and somebody else isn't going to. The first person may be at a disadvantage. So the other people we'd all start at the same spot, giving you a rationale, giving a little your background. The council would hear it. I don't think that, as I explained, the council would ask any questions. But I'm not sure if that's changed.
No, I don't think you need to ask any
No,
questions.
the intent was not to ask questions, just to let you share your thoughts or why you'd like to be on the committee. And then, did you get a hold of Gary?
I did talk to Gary. And basically, it's the meetings are open to the public, and the 2 voting members, the people who selected to be on this ad hoc committee will be 2 voting members without any input from the other 2 people. So if you want 4 people that are on this committee, 2 of them to be observers, that's fine. But you're going to have 2 people that are going to have the vote.
And I guess the rationale is if we have 4 people who want to go, then we should have all 4 people go. But we only have 2 people that actually would have a vote on the final say. So my thought was, there would be some discussion. The decision isn't made at one particular time. It's not like they say, okay, today we're going to vote on this. It'll lead up to a particular time when they're going to say, this is what we'd like to do, and the group will vote the 2 votes they have. The 4 people could give input, or the other 2 could give input, but they wouldn't be voting members. That's the way I sort of was looking at it.
And the meetings are going to consist 3 to 5 meetings. And we should have a decision by November.
When does it expect to start?
They're not quick. I think it's the first part, next month possibly.
No, I'm just thinking the question was how we're going to make a decision. I guess my thought would be that
They want our decision by the end of this month.
Right, between now and whatever it is, the council either do an email vote, I'm not sure, I haven't gotten to that stage yet.
Sir?
Did I hear this correctly? Then you're going to interview 1, and number 1's going to sit down here, and then number 2 is going to come in. Right. And 2 is going to sit down here, and then number 3 is going to come in. Wouldn't it be better, I would think, and light of the fact that votes are going to be taken later, that everybody come in and be interviewed one at a time, and then the next person comes in and be interviewed
It wouldn't be an
separately
interview process, it's just simply gonna come in
and speak?
and tell you who you are and what you want to do.
This is
And why,
why.
so.
Okay, but when somebody else comes in, doesn't that give the other person some sort of an advantage and make
They would be
you
outside.
at a disadvantage?
No, we're not gonna make this hard, Mr. Tibbetts, hang on, sir. We're not gonna make this a hard, drawn-out thing, okay? What we're gonna do is, if, hypothetically speaking, Sherry wishes to speak, the others will leave the room. And she can leave the room and they can say their piece and make a decision. Mr. Tibbetts, sorry.
I just wanted to clarify that myself. If the first person comes in and the others are out of the room and the first person talks and then stays,
No.
they're gonna, okay,
It's just so that every
just a
person's
fair
not
playing
gonna
field
hear
for
what
all.
one person said and be able to duplicate it. They'll come in with their original thoughts, and they won't be influenced by what they heard from somebody else who are also there.
And the basic idea is the first person would be at a disadvantage because they're gonna have to say something without hearing it. And if the other two are hearing what that person says, they can include that in, oh yeah, I do this too. So it's basically just to try to make it very even for, all people who are interested. And the reality from my viewpoint is anybody who wants to should be involved. We're basically going to get 2 votes, so 2 people have to be designated as the voting parties.
So there were 4 people, what you're saying?
At one point there were 4. I'm not sure how many are here to.
We have Lori Tracy. You've got a letter that she has given you over why she feels as though she would like to be part of and why she's qualified. We have, I believe, Sherry Gilbert's interested in this. Tyler Backus is here. He's interested. And we have Kelly Keane, who's here also. So that would give us 4 people. And yourself, if you're interested.
I was originally throwing my name in as a potential nominee because we have 4 people. I still will go to the meetings, but I don't need to be a voting person. I just want to be there to at least review, see what they're saying, and be part of it. So it doesn't matter to me. So I'm sort of dropping out as a voting candidate.
So each one of us would talk to you and the rest of the audience.
Right.
Excluding the other 2 people,
The
or
other-
3 people who
the other
wish
people.
to try to be on.
And then another person would come in and none of the rest of us would say.
That's correct.
And while you're out, I'd like to talk. Try. Fair enough?
plus a timer.
Oh, yes, sorry. Very good, yes. So with that in mind, if we'd like to start this process, so it's not a long drawn out process, we can give 5 minutes. Is that fair enough? Kyle, fair enough for you if we had 5 minutes? Kelly?
Yep.
Sure. 5 minutes? Who wishes to go first?
When we folks.
I'll go.
No, you're first. I tried, Sharon. I used to try and get coffee.
I don't think I made it back.
I don't even, don't worry about it. I got water. Thank you.
All right, so my name is Kelly Payton. I work at Colby. I've been there 17 years. I'm the the assistant director of administrative financial services. I oversee a $12 million credit card program. I handle all aspects of their travel, purchasing, from microscopes to paper to items, vehicles. So I have a good rapport with a lot of local vendors, a lot of the same vendors that the school uses. So I think I would bring to the table that knowledge and cost savings. I'm also a parent of 2 RSU 18 students. I'm a taxpayer in Oakland. Been here all my life. I'd really like to represent the town. I have a really good rapport with Gary and a lot of the teachers. I've served on several committees when my oldest daughter's going to be a senior, but when she was in elementary school, I was president of the PTA. I ran a lot of initiatives with the school. We did a lot of fundraising, projects, playground equipment, catering, tables. You know, we did a lot in 4 years that I held that. That's about it, I guess.
Okay,
Okay.
what's up? You can stay with me, Kelly. No, we don't have to know the worksheet.
No,
Next
I
year.
You don't want her?
No,
I
they don't have a meeting.
can't hear what they say.
Okay,
Right?
if you have something else to do then?
He said ladies before gentlemen, so I'm next.
That was yours, sure.
Less than 5 minutes. I've been a teacher for 38 years in the public school system, and I understand the budget a little bit now in the public school system because I've been to an awful lot of their meetings. And so I would like to submit my name to be on this committee because I want to see the taxes in the town of Oakland stay as low as possible and still maintain the good services that we are giving our taxpayers. And I think that leaving it at a 25% margin is where it should stay, and that's what I would be in there supporting. That's it. You're welcome. Next.
So my name's Tyler Backus, and so why I'm interested in doing this is because I think it's an important process. It helps the towns kind of have a say in how they're going to share the costs amongst the different towns. Around the state, we do have some kind of, we have some other districts that are having problems because of their cost sharing formula for the additional local. And so why I've qualified is I actually work for the Department of Education. I actually lead the school finance team. So I get to deal with this on almost a daily basis, helping other school districts out. We get to talk with the lawyers who are actually helping negotiate with the different towns. That's my piece.
Okay. Thank you, Bill. You can ask the other ladies to come in.
Yep.
I would just tell them that Lori is coming, but she can't be here at 6:45, she's teaching.
Well, wait.
So,
When she comes in, we can do that other thought process. Just so Tyler and Kelly and Sherry that Mrs. Tracy is coming to teach a class, should be about 6:45. So, hear her also. So with that being said, we can move on to the next item to select a winning bid for the police cruiser.
I actually have Chief Tracy here to speak towards that.
It was a pretty easy bid process. We received 3 bids, 2 from Darlings, Bangor Ford, and 1 from Quirk out of Contessa. Our recommendation is, they were all relatively equal with the exception of the cost, and our recommendation would be to go with the Quirk Auto Group. They were the lowest bid, number 1, and they included, because we have a black and white cruiser, they have to paint the white on the doors and the roof and so forth. And that's included in their bid and is not included in the other bids, so that's another $1,500 for the other bids to do that. But everything else is pretty much being equal, and I can say that because I gave it all to Jerry Haynes, and he went over it with a fine tooth comb. He's the one that does it for 7 years, so that's his recommendation, and that's my recommendation as well. That we go with the lowest bid, which was Quirk Auto.
have no qualms with Quirk
Yep.
or Darlings. My question for us is, I know typically we traded, and I'm not sure if it would be wise for us to get some sort of process to either put them out to bid prior to the deal, advertise them, let people be known, we now have 2 used car dealers in town, we might have 3. It just seems that the $1,300 we're getting for the car may be very little. I don't know what the condition of it is. I've spoken to a few people who said they would probably buy a scene for that amount of money. Now, I don't know, again, I don't know the details on the car, but I think we should at least review and decide early on if there is an outlet for these cars that will get us a better return than just trading into the car dealer.
Which car was your main chief?
It's the 08 in town, the blue one,
How many miles?
that I drove for a while. I'm not sure, it's got a lot, it's tired.
Right.
It's very
I
tired.
think we have to be very cautious, and that sounds like a great idea, if you go out and say, we could get $1,800 for that car, or $1,900, but then what's the liability? The cars have been drove very hard, many, many miles, and as a retired police officer, I tell you what, I know how the cars have been driven. And so I'm just thinking that, in my knee-jerk reaction, or my gut instinct says, give it to court and let it be their problem. But if we can do that, and I don't know what the legal side of it is,
Well, it would be just like any other
as is,
vehicle.
where it is,
Yeah.
no warranty, but again, you know, you're sticking in it.
This one has
Honestly,
been-
Don, I don't know if anybody would pay, you might be able to get some more money for it, but if they actually looked at it and drove it, I don't think they would, because it's really tired. I mean, it's had a rough life.
Sir?
This is the one with the bad transmission.
Yeah. Well, this is the one that I used to drive, the blue and palette. It's the only palette. And it's an 08. It's been around for a while, it's been used on patrol, it's been used as my car, it's been used more on patrol, again, it's just been, it's tired.
But we can certainly check into that for future, I mean,
Yeah.
on our cars if we want to do that.
Yeah, so like next year when we're doing it,
Right.
look at it and say, hey, you know, go talk to them, which is a
In
great
the
idea.
future, it may be a good policy, and I say that because the next vehicles that we trade will be the Explorer vehicles. And they are a much better vehicle overall, and I think there's gonna be a lot more value to those cars than the ones we've been trading in the recent past. So, I understand where you come from, I agree with you, but this year,
Well, it's
This car in
perhaps late, but I'm just thinking
Yeah.
partly with the new car dealers we have in town, they might love to say, oh, I'll give you 2,000, I'll sell it for 4,000. I don't know. But if they think they're gonna sell it for,
Yeah.
they will give us 2, so it's.
I don't think it's a bad policy, certainly for the future with the cars that we'll be looking at trading in the years to come. But this one in particular, I'd be worried about.
Mr. Willie?
Having done a little research on the police cruisers for our project over here, it's probably pretty easy to get a good benchmark on what that car is worth, number one. Number two, one thing we found out is that 50% of the time, the number of hours that that car has on it is idling time. So it's not going to show up on the odometer, but it actually has a bigger impact on wear. So anybody that's buying it should understand that. But if you're interested in getting a benchmark to see if that's a reasonable number, that would be actually pretty easy to do. It's, making sure that we're getting something that's in the ballpark for that car. But the all-wheel drive ones that you're getting are going to have significantly higher resale value than the gas.
And that is why we asked to get bids both ways a few years ago. We usually
Yeah.
get just one bid from
Right.
trade-in, but the last few years we've been getting them both ways to see if we wanted to sell it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna need a motion and a vote on which vehicle.
I'd make a motion, we accept the court bid for this 2006 Ford Interceptor, 2016 rather.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you, gentlemen. some of you don't have the Century 21 proposal. Could you tell me who doesn't have that? I've got a copy. Okay, on the next item, we've got the Selectmen Ward, the winning bid for 21 Railroad Ave. Snow Pond Realty submitted a bid, and Century 21, Sean Marquis submitted a bid. They both came in at 4%. Snow Pond Realty's recommended an asking price of $49,900. Century 21 is recommending $14,000 due to the condition of the property. Personally, I feel that $14,000 is certainly a lot closer to reality on that property. But these are my two proposals. It's up to the council to make the selection.
Did you have any discussion with Lee? I think you said you did, about why she felt that was worth that much.
Well, I mean, her feeling is to go high and work our way down. And there's no running water in it. The piping has been taken out. The bathroom is non-existent. I think they have maybe a toilet in there, but the rest of it's gone. It's in pretty bad shape.
It's, you know, the same exact bids as far as the percentage, correct?
Yeah.
So I guess one thing we could look at is, and I'm not making a suggestion or recommendation, we have one with one real estate company, we could put the other one with the other one. We could put them both with one because we're already doing business with that one, and it would be easier on us to just have one agent. I guess I'm just throwing those out as things to consider, and be interested if anybody has any thoughts.
It's a decision for the council. I can work with either one of them. I know them both very well. And
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
First of all, they ought to be given comps for the reason for their evaluation, what they think the market value is. Two, which in my experience of having an operating office, what happens is if you offer if you offer extra money to any broker for the sale of this property, the broker's gonna concentrate on that. So whoever's spending the most advertising dollars here is usually the winner. And offering a bonus to the selling broker is usually pretty darn effective. So it's a matter of marketing. It's just, the market's you're gonna have all kinds of offers coming in if they're below the market. So you wanna get rid of it in a hurry, the incentive is to offer an extra bonus.
When I read the Snow Pond document, it says based on the analysis of properties sold, pending and active, so they did do a comp.
we're currently listening with Clay. With 43. Anyway.
Hard to go higher if you're already low, so, you know. But it's also hard to try to sell it, but it's outpriced itself too. You know, so I mean, if people drive by and say it's not worth $49,000 or $49, then why waste my time? Because they're ridiculously high. You know, and move on. Versus if someone is a little bit more realistic about it, they might just say, well, let's talk to them. You know, it's all according to what we want. You know, do we want to sit on a property for a while? Done.
You know, and same knee-jerk reaction to 49 seems. We've listed the other property at 45, which has an acre and 1.3, I think it is, something like that. It's got a garage, it's got work to be done, but that one is listed less, so I'm curious as to why this one would be at the price it's at. But again, I don't like the 14 either, because you're sort of limited there. You know, we can list it, I guess, at whatever price we want to. We don't have to go by either their recommendation. And I don't know if we can we give a bonus if somebody sells it for more than $25,000? Or do you
Well, I
sell,
mean, it's a
I guess what
contract.
we could do is say, if you bring in the buyer, not the seller, it wouldn't be our agent, but whoever the selling agent is could get the bonus. So we could say there's a $1,000 bonus to anybody who brings in a buyer that's gonna be above X amount of dollars. So we could attach that to either, it wouldn't affect their income, it would affect somebody else's.
Good idea.
So we have a decision to make.
Who do we have the property on the Gagnon Road?
We play Duncan, Snow Pond Realty.
Yeah, one thing you could always do is alternate, brokers, the listing brokers, and that way nobody could ever accuse anybody of favoritism or anything like that.
Kind of my thought on that too.
You know, so if we could tell him, we would like him listed for too, you know. I mean, when she's saying it's 49, we went to Mr. Marquis and said, Mr. Marquis, 14,000 seems a little low for us, but we'd like you listed at 29.9. Or 30, or even 49.
We did have a lengthy conversation over the price on this, and he explained his process and why he felt it was worth what it's worth. I don't know if you've driven by 21 Railroad Ave, but I can tell you right now, it is waterfront property, but
That's this place here, right?
Especially right
that's the one right there.
Mud pond.
Yeah, my pond, yeah. I certainly don't have an issue listing this one with Sean, and I would enjoy working with him on it, and they both came in at the same percentage, and
I'd make a motion to list it with Sean, and do we want to put a price on it now, or do you want to discuss it with him first?
I think I would like to sit down and discuss it with him
Okay.
first.
I'd make a motion we list it with Sean Markey.
Seconded by Dawn, all in favor?
Thank you, man.
That way we're alternating, and I think it's a good way to go, very fair. Managers report?
First thing on the Avengers report's the update on the old schoolhouse by the Oakland Historical Society. We have nobody here from that group tonight, so I think we can scratch that from tonight's agenda. And the second thing I have is the update on Oak Fest. We've been working extremely hard. Kathy Parody has really been working hard on this. We've made a lot of improvements to it this year compared to last year. I don't know if you've been on the website. Rachel Whitney has got a website up and she's been maintaining that. She's done an incredible job. We get all kinds of compliments. If anybody for the council has nothing to do on July 23rd, I certainly have places for you, and we'll enjoy your company. That also goes for Friday night at the open air, at the street dance and the parade. The parade is not going to be one to be missed. We have 4 marching bands. It's going to be a blast. And the lineup starts at 4:30. The parade starts at 6 p.m. sharp. And following the parade, the street gets closed, and that's when the street dance. Richard Jandro is going to be our DJ this year, and so we should have a real good time. Weather permitting, this is going to be pretty impressive, I think. Any questions on Oak Fest? Next thing I have is the gazebo project update. As you're aware, we formed a committee to look at ways to finance and build a gazebo down at the Oakland Boat Landing and beach area. And Mike Willie has graciously accepted the committee chair position. And we have Ned Hammond also here, he's part of this committee. And I really think that this is a worthwhile project. One of the ways we're looking at, one of the things we're looking at is financing. And it was brought to our attention that the Land and Water Conservation Fund has money available. And it's basically a reimbursement grant, meaning that the town of Oakland would have to possibly upfront the amount of money before we would get reimbursed, which